Falls Township Zoning Hearing Board, I hereby call this meeting to order. I'd like to start by pledging the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, thank you and welcome again. I'm Dan Miles, your chairperson. Joining us live tonight is our vice chair, Mr. Al Brooks, and joining us via remote Zoom is our secretary, Scott Dioria. We are a three-person board tonight, which provides quorum for making decisions on the applications. We are going to actually, apologize for this, start with an executive session. We had something pressing that needs our direct attention. Now that we have our board together, we're going to pull out to a breakout room with our remote participant. We should be no longer than maybe 5-7 minutes. Again, I apologize for the delay, but we'll get right back to agenda after that. Thank you. Okay, everybody, we're here back on the record. We appreciate your patience, and we thank you for that. Trying to be transparent here, we'll let you know what that executive session was about now.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Just for the record, the board took an executive session to discuss pending litigation matters. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Okay. Diane, do we have any from the township lawyer here yet, or no?
No.
Okay.
Nobody's here yet.
No, in Zoom, all right, thank you. Okay. We're going to jump off the agenda quickly to petition number 7, since this is going to be requesting continuance for Goat Logistics LLC. It was continued from the August 10th and July 13th and the June 8th meeting. It was disclosed to us during the August meeting that they would be just seeking continuance until the lease was expired for the property, that they wouldn't be trying to further use it for the Amazon parking after that. So we agreed to continue that on a month-to-month basis. And we received, it's the same letter, right, as last one, so.
Yes.
Yep. So it was Goat Logistics requesting a continuance until, on the matter for allowing the dispatching of the average of 20 to 25 vehicles a day.
Need a motion.
Yeah, so do we have a motion to continue Goat Logistics till the next meeting, which is?
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Dan, to continue it.
Okay, to the October 12th,
October 12th.
the October 12th meeting, okay. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The Goat Logistics to continue till the October 12th meeting. So that'll bring us to petition number 1 for Michael and Kristen DiGaetano, 83 Everturn Lane, Levittown, PA. They're requesting a dimensional variance to erect a fence in the front yard setback of Everturn Lane. Good evening. Okay, so we'll start this off. We're going to have you guys sworn in by our court reporter, okay? Okay, now we're going to add some of the exhibits for your petition, first from our solicitor, and then we're going to turn it over to you guys to let us know what's going on, okay? Just give us a brief moment here.
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB1, along with the accompanying statement from the applicants. 2 will be a permit denial letter from Falls Township to the applicant dated August 2nd, 2021. 3 is a plot plan. 4, Exhibit 4 will be 6 pages containing 6 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 is notice to the applicant for tonight's meeting, and also notice to the adjoining or abutting property owners in regards to tonight's meeting. That'll be Exhibit 5. 6 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier-Times, showing that this matter was published August 31st, and then again September 7th, 2021. That is all the board exhibits, Mr. Chairman. I'm satisfied the appropriate notices have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Billy Meyer. Okay, Mr. DiGaetano.
Yes, thanks for having us, by the way. We actually are just here to request the variance to erect the fence on our side and backyard. I know the variance is denied to the side yard, but according to our letter, our backyard is pretty much unusable to follow the ordinance rules. Because on our backyard, as per our letter, we have the.
Could you guys please speak more to the microphone?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Is that mic on?
I was just gonna say, I don't think it's on.
It doesn't sound,
No, it's okay.
no, my mic's not on. That's better, thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, we want to fence in our side and backyard for the safety of our child as well as our dogs. And we have, basically our backyard, we had made an agreement with the water department. We have their permit. We're losing 4 foot of the backyard, as well as we have the manhole back there, as well as we have the telephone wire. And we have no access to our actual backyard with the door. So basically, our goal is just to fence in the side and backyards.
Okay. Great, no problem. Awesome, we're gonna do now is we're gonna open it up for some questions from our board if they have any, okay?
Absolutely.
Scott, do you have any questions? He's gonna be coming from the TV.
Okay.
Just want to make sure with Ed that it's okay for a site on the road and that we're not too close to the sidewalks.
Okay.
I do have an issue with it. On their plot plan, it doesn't show the curving of the road. I'm not sure if they're putting that fence all the way up against the sidewalk as the right side of the house. If they are, it's gonna be in the neighbor's side triangle, pulling out of their driveway. You guys
Okay,
can hear me?
Mr. DiGaetano.
Yes.
So, if you can see up here, if you, I don't, you can come up here.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to show you this portion here. I mean, this is what he's questioning. If this is right on the sidewalk, when your neighbor's coming out of his driveway, and you know, see this way, so it had to be back.
Oh, absolutely.
So what we can do is, oh yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. What we can do is, if you're agreeable to this, that when you're ready to install the fence, or prior to installing the fence, if you can have our guy from the township come out and just make sure the site triangle is square, he'll show you exactly where you have to put it.
Okay.
If you're agreeable to that.
Absolutely.
It might lose a little on that side, but you know, you'll still be able to get most of the
Okay.
yard in there.
And the other side is perfectly,
I believe so. That seems to be enough away, Ed. The left
I'm not
side?
sure how far he's going on that side either, but we'll check that out when I go out there. I
We'll
don't have a
probably
problem.
have to just make sure that all those sight lines are clear.
okay.
This way, anybody backing out of their driveway, you know, doesn't hit a blind spot, and, you know, it's safe for all of us.
Okay.
Cool, okay. Scott, that answers your question?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Just for the record, I pointed out the back corner of his property on that right side, closest to the neighbor's property, to show him the area that I believe to be in contention, so. Al, any questions?
No, I have none.
Great, that's the only questions we
Okay.
really have about that. Any public comments, questions for Everturn? No? Matt, anything received through the township we should know about?
No, nothing received.
Thank you. All right, at this point, I'd like to see if someone would like to make a motion.
I'll make the motion. I move that the application of Michael and Kristen DiGaetano requesting a dimensional variance from section 209-37C of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted. Direct the fence in the front yard setback of the property located at 83 Everturn Lane, Levittown, PA, with the agreement that code enforcement will come out and properly tell you where it has to be. So
Okay.
it's out of the site triangle.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Do we have a second?
Second that.
Okay, Scott, if you could poll the board?
Myself, yes. Al?
Yes.
And Dan?
Yes. Great. Okay, your petition's been approved.
Okay.
You'll receive a correspondence from the solicitor about next steps and everything. okay?
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Great, have a good night, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Petition number 2 on the agenda, Falls Township Fire Company, 310 Yardley Avenue. Requesting a use variance to utilize an overhead crane to load and unload granite slabs onto delivery vehicles. Good evening.
I
Yep,
have some photos, can I?
please.
Picture more or less.
Okay. I'm gonna mark these as
Yeah,
A1.
I'll do eight.
Eight.
Yeah, I'll do A1, that's fine.
Whatever.
I'll do their proof of services. A2.
Okay,
I think so.
as soon as he gets back, we'll have you guys sworn in, okay? Sure. Okay, gentlemen, we're gonna have you sworn in by our court reporter?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. David Schanberg, Shanberg. Walter Myers, Walter Meyers.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen. Now we're gonna mark the petitions for your, or the exhibits for your petition, and then we're gonna turn it over to you, see what's going on there, okay?
Sure.
Mr. Myers or Mr. Schamberg, do you have proof of service to the adjoining or abutting property owners?
Yes.
Okay, can you hand that up to me?
The letters you're talking about?
Yes, the letters that you served the neighbors with. you want to point anything out before I just need the letter that was sent and what addresses it was sent to. Perfect. Okay, perfect, thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, if I can have one moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Schamberg, just for the record, you have handed me 4 copies of 4 letters, all of which are dated August 25th, 2021, to various addresses. Were these, or a copy of these letters sent to these addresses contained on these letters?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark them collectively as A2 for applicant 2. We have 1 letter addressed to the Township of Falls, 1 letter addressed to Consolidated Rail Corporation, a letter to American Legion Post, 834, and another letter to SEPTA. That'll be A2, as I stated, going a little out of order. A1 will be applicant 1, and that'll be 4 pages contained in a packet handed to this board by Mr. Myers. And now, Mr. Chairman, I'll mark the board exhibits. We'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB 1, along with the accompanying statement signed by Mr. Schamberg. 2 will be a letter from Falls Township dated May 25th to the Township of Falls. 3 will be correspondence from my firm to the Falls Township Fire Company dated April 15, 2021. 4 will be 3 pages containing 3 color photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier-Times, showing this matter was published August 31st, and then again September 7th, 2021. 6 will be notice to the applicant of tonight's meeting addressed to David Schamberg. That letter is dated September 1st, 2021. That's Exhibit 6. I believe that is all the board exhibits. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied the appropriate notices have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Billy Meyer. Mr. Schamberg?
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening again. Again, thank you for your time and service. As we were in front of the board back in April to request a variance for our tenant, Walt Myers here, for the slab storage in our lot. Since then, things have been going incredibly well. It's been a great business partner. And the gentleman now has an opportunity to install and utilize an overhead kind of crane, if you would, and you have pictures there. And we wanted to make sure you had comfort as to what we're trying to do from a safety perspective. And also, you know, with the consideration of our neighbors always in mind also. So apologize for submitting those today, but we just don't want to miss out and not submitting, you know, and having those in front of you so you can kind of get an idea of where they're going to be and how this is going to proceed. The fire department did talk about this at a recent meeting, and we're fully on board to support our tenant with this opportunity. Sure.
So we'll open it up for some board questions right now.
Sure.
Mr. Myers, if you
Sure, sure.
questions you might have there.
Absolutely.
Feel free. Scott, board questions?
Dan, your microphone.
Sorry
might
about
be
it, I was
up.
off mic. Yeah, I think you're the only camera. Yeah, Scott, I'm sorry, we just, we're gonna open up for board questions. So if you have a question for Mr. Myers, probably would know more about the crane, I'm sure, Mr. Sandberg, about the property. Chamber.
Are you asking if I have a question, Dan?
Yes.
Yes, the only thing I'm curious about is it a manual crank type of crane that you're going to be using just a hoist, or is it an electric crane? And what would be your alternative if you didn't have the crane?
Yeah, so it's an electric hoist. The alternative is what I'm using now, which is a forklift. Both obviously can be utilized, but the crane offers a little bit of actually a lot more of a safer solution. So that's obviously why, you know, we want to go with that.
That's all I have, Dan.
All right, thanks, Scott. Al?
Give me the dimensions, because there's 3 different sizes on this. So what exactly is the dimensions?
Yeah, so let's say roughly it's going to be about 130 feet long, 50 feet wide, 23 feet in height.
And it says it's going to be operated by a portable generator?
Not a portable generator. Probably it's just going to be 110. I'll end up running, any permits I need for the electrical.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, just walk me through what this crane does and how it's gonna operate and how you're gonna use it and the impact of what's gonna happen in the neighborhood or how loud
Sure.
it is.
Yeah,
Just give me a good rundown of.
Okay,
like,
yeah, so
what's up.
basically, so a gantry crane. It runs on rails, linear guide rails. It's electric motor, which is quiet. It's very quiet. That's why the portable generator could probably cause a little bit of extra noise. The better solution is just electrical.
Okay.
A hoist, it's very quiet, all in all. It's an automatic pendant, so up, down, back, forth. So in terms of noise, it's not going to be loud. Yeah, so
How
that,
about
that's basically.
As loud or louder or not as loud as a forklift running and pulling
The
stuff
forklift's
aside?
louder.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure, yeah.
No problem. So you're using this to, I'm sorry, I cut you off there. but
Sure, sure.
Just walk us through how it's gonna be utilized too.
So it's going to be utilized for basically loading and offloading for our truck, but also for when we receive material. It offers a safer solution in the sense when the material comes, it comes in bundles, let's say. So it's 10 slabs at a time. It can be picked up very easily by one person and you're away from the material as opposed to standing next to the material when you're on the forklift.
Right.
Because you have one guy driving and you have one guy kind of guiding. This way, it's way safer.
So the forklift usually has one of those compression deals that picks it up and.
Cables,
Yeah.
well, we have the compression, but also when you're picking up let's say 10 at a time, you use cables.
Okay.
But you have somebody on the side kind of helping guide it a little bit. Where at the crane, you're out of the way and you're just guiding it with the pendant.
Got it. Okay. So just offloading from the delivery, loading onto your trucks to take it out to be cut. You're still not doing any cutting or any fabrication of anything?
We don't do
there?
any of that.
No dust, no extra?
All we do is wholesale slab distribution. That's it, no fabrications. Conflict of interest in the business, so.
Sure, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
just know that, the dust is an impact to the community.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
no dust.
Noise
Yep.
is an impact to the community, and maybe the visual of it.
We
you know.
pick things up and we put them down.
So I'm driving in, Main Street, Yardley Avenue, coming around that way. Do I see this right away? Is it like, whoa, what's that? Do you think it's gonna be?
No, because, it's basically the structure is just one single structure upright that's on guide rails that are on the ground.
Right.
So you're only gonna see the above structure. A good example, I think it's on Lincoln Highway, there's Load Right. Familiar with Load Right? They have something very similar. I just noticed it actually driving here. Something almost identical.
Okay.
So it's basically just a structure that's up and then on the guide rails.
Yeah, I think it maybe help.
Nothing else above.
Okay, yeah, no power lines running.
No,
through
no,
it
no,
or anything.
exactly.
I think it just helps to shed light on maybe to help people understand
Yeah,
exactly.
and where we want to position it is basically parallel with the train tracks for a couple reasons. One, the train causes noise. Any noise that's going to be, by that is going to be obviously less than the train, for that matter. And then also, even the train has
Yeah,
kind of something
absolutely.
that's like super high
So
right there.
it's tucked back in that corner.
Yeah,
back by the
exactly.
trains, yeah.
And it's always something that once we're done at the end of the day, we tuck it in obviously the most inconspicuous place possible, whether it be
Sure.
back this way or this way.
Okay, great. Thanks, yeah, I wasn't sure exactly how.
Sure.
The operation of it, I've seen some things inside of granite places before, but
Sure.
this seems a little bit larger or whatever outside, but, yeah, okay. Any further questions from the board? Okay. All right, we're gonna open it for public comments, questions? Yep. Come on up, you have to be sworn in, yep, same thing.
Yes. Amy Ransley, AmyRansley.
Good evening, Ms. Rensley.
Hi, good evening. I had some questions.
Oh, yeah, if you could,
Oh.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. I had some questions about this being approved in the first place, about having the slabs put behind the the firehouse. A few months ago, did you not realize that you're going to be needing a crane? Like, how long have you been in business?
Since February.
Just February? This is a new business to you? New business. And did you realize that you were, a crane was going to be something that you were going to need?
Possibility in the future.
Okay. And as of the sound, you stated that the crane is running electric and it's not going to cause more noise than the forklift. But the generator, is the generator going to be the same sound as the forklift or
Right, so-
more or less?
It would probably be the equivalent to a forklift,
Okay.
but we're not gonna run the route of the generator, we're just gonna end up running direct to it.
And how, what are your hours of operation there?
Typically 8 to 5, 8 to 4, sometimes less.
Weekdays only or weekends?
Mostly Monday through Friday.
Mostly.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think actually I've been there on a Saturday or Sunday since I've been there.
And how many employees do you have?
Currently me and one other guy.
So you two are the only two that are loading and unloading?
Sure.
Okay,
That's why a crane would be very helpful for us.
okay. And how often are you getting deliveries there?
How often?
How often do you get deliveries?
Maybe 1 to 2 a month, something like that. Depends on business.
Okay. And what type of delivery vehicles are used to deliver the slabs of granite? Because back at the zoning meeting, you were asked, I'm not sure if it was you, if you're Mr. Myers?
Yeah, sure.
You were asked what type of equipment would be used, and you answered one F-150 and a forklift fueled by propane would be used for delivery of your
It is.
product.
Yes, and that's what it is used. Not a F-150, I think it was a F-550.
Okay, in the minutes, it says a 150. And it said that, let's see here. It said that you said that for delivering our slabs and a forklift fueled by propane. So how are your slabs being delivered?
By the 550.
To
To my customers, yes.
your customers? How are
Right.
they being delivered to behind the
They're
firehouse?
picked up at the port, and they're sent by a truck that delivers a 20-foot container.
What type of truck? An 18-wheeler?
I mean, anything that can carry, not an 18-wheeler. No, not anything.
Is this a truck that, I have a photo
Sure.
of the trucks that have been delivering to the property. Would this be a delivery truck?
So this was delivering A-frames. This isn't a typical load of slabs. We couldn't get the slabs off of a truck like this. 20-foot container has to be,
Okay, 'cause-
you can't pull slabs off of a truck like that.
So this was a one-time
One time, yep,
delivery just for frames?
for A-frames. It
For
was
A-frames,
framed and- yeah.
because that was on a Saturday, I believe, and the truck was idling for over 2 hours outside in the property. First of all, the truck was lost through the town and was idling in front of my home for a while until my husband went out and said, hey, what's going on? They're looking for 310 Yardley Ave. And then the truck was outside idling
Yeah,
for
that's-
2+ hours.
Yeah, I never received
So
it.
that's something that's not going to be going on
No, absolutely
typically?
not. No, if this happened, this was obviously a one-time thing, and I never received any phone calls or got any notice of it, so I was never made aware of it.
Okay,
Are you the one that produced this flyer and spread it around town? Ma'am?
what flyer?
This flyer that was dropped off in neighbors' mailboxes?
I did distribute 10
Why don't
flyers
you come over and talk to us?
to let them know that there was a zoning meeting tonight. I just said that there's a zoning meeting tonight.
Mr. Chamberlain, if I could,
You know,
if we could let Ms.
for people
Ms.
to come
If we could
out.
let Ms. Rangeley, we'll let you obviously come back
Okay.
and talk a little bit, but it's very confusing for our court reporter to not have everybody on mic who's speaking and being able to identify them in the log. We're trying to keep it very professional for everybody involved, so you'll have a chance to speak also. And if we need another mic for back and forth, I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just to be clear, so you're gonna be getting deliveries twice a month from trucks or?
Yeah, most, again, it depends
And then how often are you going to be running the crane? Is this gonna be a daily thing, like every day, weekday, or is it gonna be,
I mean, basically when it needs to be ran, I can't put an actual time frame. It's not gonna be running within business hours, I would say.
within business hours, Monday
Yeah,
through
not-
Friday,
not-
even though you've
not
had
8 hours,
deliveries on the
But
weekends?
not
Even though this truck had come through on a weekend?
Yeah, I have to double check on that because I was never made aware of this, so.
Okay.
And I actually wasn't there when the truck arrived. It was actually, my employee.
Okay, and then how often are the slabs moved onto your delivery trucks?
Daily?
So every day there's,
Delivered? Yeah, absolutely.
every day, the crane's gonna be running every day with
No,
the
no, no.
generator?
The crane is the primary use is gonna be to offload our containers. That's the primary use. We're gonna use the forklifts for our ones and twos, to be able to load our trucks, to be able to send to our fabricators.
Okay. And what's the approximate weight of the granite and quartz, like a piece of granite and quartz that's?
It could, I mean, are we talking 1 cm, 2 cm, or 3?
It-
It varies. There's no,
Okay. And
you need a forklift or whatever.
and you already stated that there's no cutting on the property.
Correct.
So your delivery trucks are going out every day?
I hope so, yeah, yeah. Be good for business.
Okay. And let's see here.
It's not trucks, I only have one truck at the moment.
The small truck that you're saying, like a
It's a-
pickup
it's a
truck,
550,
like a
it's a
pickup
flatbed.
truck, a flatbed pickup,
Yeah.
like type truck.
You've seen it, I believe.
And the other concern I had was dumpsters. There's over 4 dumpsters on that property now. Do you have a dumpster there? There's a dumpster in front, and I noticed that the trash truck is emptying this dumpster, which is quite loud. If I'm sitting in my backyard, my backyard is 200 feet from where your yard is. I may not be touching your property, but everything you do on that property is directly in my backyard.
Once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks. And what is being dumped in there if you're not cutting material, like what is,
You know, whether it's a little bit of wood or water bottles.
okay. You know, and I did want to say, like, I understand that it's great that the firehouse is trying to have extra income, but I just really want to make sure that it's not disruptive to my family and to other families in the neighborhood. And honestly, the 18-wheeler, if it was a one-time or two-time thing, because I believe I've seen a couple, delivering there and idling there, that it's not going to be that disruptive. And I'm hoping that if it is approved, that it is actually a quieter, the crane is definitely not going to be disruptive and noisy, and it's not going to be done on weekends and holidays.
Correct.
So, I'm trying to think if I had any other questions. But you will still be using the forklift also, though? So you're gonna be using
I mean, not
the forklift and
simultaneously.
the
I
crane?
mean, one and then maybe another. Depends.
Okay. That's all I have. Can I give the board the photos of the 18-wheeler? Do you care to see them? Of the truck that's coming through that supposedly is a one-time, two-time?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. If you want to hand them up, I'll mark them as AR for your initials, AR1.
Thank you.
Just for the record, Ms. Rangeley, you handed up four pages containing 4 black and white photographs, which I've marked as AR1.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Ms. Rangeley, I know you've been here before, and I think you've been granted party status before on other applications, so you're familiar with the process. If you want to be granted party status, I can go through that with you.
Yes.
Are you looking to be granted party status for tonight's application?
Yes. I will.
Okay. And do you need me to go through what that entails?
No, I
Okay.
understand.
All right, and as before, can you just do me a favor? Can you put your name and your address on this notepad? And, sure. That's okay. No, not necessary. You'll get a copy of everything that happens. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Any further public comments, questions regarding the crane at the firehouse? Bless you. Matt, anything through the township?
Nothing from the township.
Okay, great. In light of any of the testimony, does the board have any further questions? Al,
I have
Scott,
nothing.
anything else? No? Okay, great. I thank you for explaining everything very
Sure.
well. I know that, yeah,
Absolutely.
going a little extra kind of, I think does.
No problem.
Does a little bit of help. Anything further from you guys in close?
Again, we're here to be a good neighbor, always have been, for the community. If there's an issue with the dumpsters, one of them's going to be leaving soon. We're going through construction in our facility, so one will be going out in a couple months. And again, if there's an issue, walk over and talk to us. We deal with the community on a daily basis in a lot of variable kind of situations. So, thank you again for your service.
Thank you, Mr. Chamber. Thank you, Mr. Myers.
you.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move that the application of Falls Township Fire Company requesting a use variance from section 20921B of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to allow an overhead crane to load and unload granite slabs onto delivery vehicles at the property located at 310 Yardley Avenue, Fallsington, Pennsylvania 19054, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, Scott, poll the board, please.
Myself, yes. Al
Yes.
and Dan.
Yes. All right, gentlemen, you'll receive a letter from our solicitor regarding procedures on the next part of the process, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night.
Have a good evening.
Not on there.
Okay, brings us to petition number 3, Breezy Acres Management, 87 Kennedy Drive, Fairless Hills, PA, requesting a use variance to convert the existing on-site management facility to a one-bedroom apartment. Tina Politz?
Yes.
Tina, how you doing? Good evening. Service was already,
It was, service was handed up.
we'll have Miss Politz? We'll have you sworn in. Okay.
Yes. Tina, Tina, Politz, P-O-L-I-T-Z.
And I have exhibits.
Okay, absolutely.
Thanks.
Trying.
Not me, actually.
Oh.
Couldn't make it. I'm Jacob Ward.
Jacob Wertz? Okay, how you doing?
W-E-R-T-Z.
Okay, we're gonna start marking some of the exhibits for the petition, Mr. Wertz, and then we'll turn it over to you guys.
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB 1, along with a accompanying statement dated August 20th, which itself includes several exhibits. 2 will be a letter from Falls Township in regards to the applicant's letter of intent. That letter from the township is dated August 16th, 2021. 3 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times showing this matter was listed August 31st, then again September 7th, 2021. 4 will be 3 colored photographs showing that the property was posted as required. 5 will be notice to the applicant's attorney dated September 1st, 2021, giving notice of tonight's meeting. That is all the board exhibits, Mr. Chairman. We've been handed several packets from Mr. Wertz, the attorney representing the applicant tonight. One, he has pre-marked Exhibit 1. With your permission, Mr. Wertz, I'm just going to add an A to that for A1 for applicant 1, so there's no confusion. The top sheet of that states Bucks County Recorder of Deeds. And again, it's a packet. A2, again, with your permission, that'll be a letter dated August 20th, 2021.
Yes, that's fine.
3, I'll mark as, A3, I'll mark, top page states, before the Falls Township Zoning Hearing Board, and it's a certificate of mailing, signed by Tina Politz. Contained in there in Exhibit A, and Mr. Wertz, I'm gonna ask you, is that a copy of the letter that was sent to all the addresses listed in Exhibit B?
Correct.
All right. Okay, the letter's satisfactory. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied. All the appropriate notices have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Billingmeyer. Mr. Wertz, all yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I represent Breezy Acres Management, LLC, the owner of Breezy Acres Manufactured Home Community. And with me tonight is Tina Politz, the community manager for Breezy Acres. So I just have a couple questions for her because she's more familiar with what we're trying to do with the structure. So, Ms. Politz, are you currently employed, and if so, by whom?
I'm employed by Penwood Management, which I manage Penwood Crossing and Breezy Acres.
And what is your work address?
1201 Adler Drive, Morrisville, PA 19067.
And where is Breezy Acres located?
250 Lincoln Highway.
How many manufactured home lots are in Breezy Acres?
We have 206 lots.
How many apartments?
We have 3 buildings and there are 6 apartments. Yes, 6.
3 buildings.
3 buildings. The one building, which is 87 Kennedy, that has 3 apartments in it already, and then that's where the office was. We have another building, which is just 1 apartment. And then we have another building that has 2 apartments upstairs and downstairs.
Are there any other occupied structures within the community?
No.
All right, if you could flip to Exhibit A1. Yeah. Can you tell me what that is?
That is the recorder of deeds for the property of Breezy Acres Management.
And when did Breezy Acres, or I guess when is the deed dated?
This is from November of 2013.
Does Breezy Acres Management LLC still own the property?
Yes.
And if you could flip to Exhibit A2, can you please tell me what that is?
The letter to the township asking for a variance.
Did you review the hardship letter before it was submitted?
Yes.
And do you agree with the contents of the hardship letter?
Yes.
Now, before we get into the history of the apartments and the office space, I want to clarify that our organization has owned Breezy Acres since 1996. Mr. Frank Pirano is the sole member of Breezy Acres Management, LLC. When the property was refinanced in 2013, the lender insisted that the borrower create a single-purpose entity. So the property was then transferred to Breezy Acres Management LLC, but our operation of the property goes back to 1996. So before we get into specifics of what we're trying to do with the variance, are there photographs of the building and of the community showing where everything is located and what everything looks like?
Yes.
And could you tell me a little bit about Exhibit A within the hardship letter?
So Exhibit A, that is, it's circled in red, that's the building, it's in the middle of the community, that's where we want to put the apartment at.
And then if you could flip to Exhibit C within that hardship letter, you can put some stuff down if you need to.
Okay.
And can you explain what Exhibit C within the hardship letter is?
So this is the front of the building. The first door on the left-hand side, that is apartment A, which is the first floor only, and it's a one-bedroom apartment. The second door, which is in the middle, that is where the office door is. And then the third door, that is for the apartment C.
All right. And as the community manager, please tell me what the building was used as when Mr. Pirano purchased the property in 1996.
It was used as 3 apartments and an office building.
And before it was used as 3 apartments in the office building, do you know what it was used as?
We were told that prior to that, don't know when, it was just one house.
A family home?
Yeah,
And were we involved in converting the building into 3 apartments and 1 office?
no.
And how was the property managed when we purchased it in 1996?
It was managed by Penwood Properties, which that was Linda Page. She had retired in December of 2016, and then I took over management in January of 2017.
And did Ms. Page, did she manage the property within that office?
Yes.
And did you manage the property within that office?
When I took over, we kept the office open until December of 2018, and then we closed it down, and it gets managed out of the Penwood Crossing office.
And what is in the office space at Breezy Acres today?
It's just a table and some filing cabinets. We don't use it.
And what would Breezy Acres like to do with the unused office space?
We would like to put in a 1-bedroom apartment that would only occupy 2 people.
Do you have any plans drawn up for the proposed apartment?
Yes.
Flip to Exhibit B of A2, the hardship letter. Is Breezy Acres going to make any changes to the exterior building or the building's footprint?
No.
And you said 2 people will be allowed in the apartment?
Yes.
Is there sufficient off-street parking spaces for 2 additional vehicles?
Yes.
And if you're looking at the satellite view, which is Exhibit D within Exhibit A2, can you point out where the parking will be?
Where it says Adams Drive, all that parking there is open, so that's where they would park.
Where will the proposed apartment receive water and sewer service?
There's already water and service to the building because of the other apartments that are there, and we receive that from Township of Falls Authority.
Is using this vacant space as a 1-bedroom apartment going to alter the essential character of Breezy Acres?
No.
Will using this vacant space as a 1-bedroom apartment alter the essential character of the manufactured home community zone in which Breezy Acres is located?
No.
Will using this vacant space as a 1-bedroom apartment substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of the neighboring properties?
No.
And will it be detrimental to public welfare?
No.
Did we consider any other uses for this vacant space, such as trying to lease it out as office space or using it as a storage space?
No, we did not.
And why is that? There's other apartments within
Yeah.
the building, correct?
Yeah,
And did you send out the certificate of mailing to the adjacent property owners?
yes, I did.
All right, thank you. That's all I have for Ms. Polk.
Great. Thank you. We're going to open it up for some board questions first. Scott?
I see what they're trying to do here, and I'm okay. I have no questions.
Okay. Al?
No, it's pretty basic what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either. Are there any public comments about the apartments over there at Breezy Acres? During the office and the apartment? Any correspondence with the township back? We should know about?
No, nothing from the township.
Okay. How did he hear me then? Sorry, my mic was off. I don't have any questions or comments. In light of no public comments or questions, Mr. Wertz, anything in closing?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, great. At this point, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion, Dan.
Thank you.
I move that the application of Breezy Acres Management, Tina Politz, requesting a use variance from section 209-18B of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to convert the existing on-site management facility to a one-bedroom apartment at the property located at 87 Kennedy Drive, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, 19030, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, Scott, pull the board, please.
Myself, yes. Al?
Yes.
And Dan?
Yes. Okay. Mr. Wertz, you'll receive correspondence through our solicitor's office
All right.
about the next steps going
Thank you.
forward. Okay, thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Yep. Okay, petition number 4, Albert N. Lycan Senior, 6 Steel Road East, Marsville, PA, zoned highway industrial, requesting a dimensional variance to construct a building which is over the allowable maximum impervious coverage of 50%. Mr. Lycan?
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. I'm going to have sworn in by our court reporter first.
Yes. Albert N. Lycon, L-Y-K-O-N, Senior.
All right, Mr. Lycon, we're going to mark some exhibits for your petition, and then we're going to turn it over to you. If you have service, if you want to present that now, it'd be great.
Go ahead. This is a sample of the document I mailed to the 3 neighboring owners, and I actually hand-delivered them to them,
Okay,
and then had them sign a copy that they received.
okay. I'll ask you some questions on the record about it, okay? For the record, Mr. Lycon handed me two separate documents. Mr. Lycon, the first batch of documents you handed to me, these are copies of letters that you mailed to the 3 addresses listed at the top. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll mark them as A1 for applicant 1. One is to Clean Earth, 7 Steel Road East. The second is to NP Falls Township Industrial, LLC, 400 Middle Road, Fairless Hills. And then the third one is Basic Chemical, Univar, 5 Steel Road East. And then you also handed me a second set of paperwork that you advised that you hand-delivered. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll mark them as A2. And those addresses are Basic Chemical, Univar, 5 Steel Road, Clean Earth, 7 Steel Road, and then NP Falls Township, 400 Middle Road, Fairless Hills. All right, with that, Mr. Chairman, we'll mark some board exhibits now. The application for zoning ordinance appeal will be ZHB1, along with accompanying statement signed by Mr. Lycon. 2 will be a letter from Falls Township dated September 1st, and 21, giving notice of tonight's meeting. 3 will be a sketch plan that is colored. 4 will be 4 pages containing 4 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 will be a black and white sketch plan of 6 Steel Road. 6 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times, showing that this matter was published August 31st and then again September 7th, 2021. That is all of the board and applicant exhibits that I have in front of me, Mr. Chairman. I'm satisfied the appropriate notice have been satisfied and this matter can proceed.
Excellent. Okay, Mr. Lycon, it's up to you. What's going on?
Okay, so I own the property, 6 Steel Road East LLC, and I'm looking to put a building on the back of that. Currently, the property is at 52% impervious. The proposed building that we have, the sketch plan that we presented to the township, is 57% impervious. We are asking for 59% since we have not submitted land development yet, and there still may be some minor changes that need to happen. We will not exceed 59%. So we're looking for a variance so we can proceed with our land development plan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lycon. I'll ask the board if they have any questions about the increase. Scott?
I'm looking here at the plan, and I do see that you've already got some environmental stormwater management and a rain garden. I think that's a very good effort to try to mitigate that situation there. I don't have anything else at this time, Dan.
Great, thank you. Al?
No, I have nothing.
I think until recently, it was much higher of a percentage too, so the stormwater management is definitely helpful. Any public comments, questions? Okay, let the record reflect there is no public comment. Is there any correspondence through the township, Matt?
No correspondence.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, would someone like to make a motion for the petition for 6 Steel Road?
I'll make that motion. I move that the application of Albert Lycon Sr. requesting a dimensional variance from section 20929 and the table 5 of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to construct a building which is over the allowable maximum impervious coverage of 50% at the property located at 6 Steel Road East, Morrisville, Pennsylvania, 19067, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that with adding on to there not to exceed 59%.
Scott, since that's an amendment of your motion, do you agree to that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Mr. Lycon, you're in agreement with that also?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Okay, Scott, if you could poll the board then, please. Or actually, we have a second on the addendums.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, great. Scott, if you could poll the board, please.
Myself, yes. Al?
Yes.
And Dan?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Lycon, you'll receive a letter from the township solicitor. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the township.
Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Petition number 5, Harshad Patel, 332 West Trenton Avenue, Suite 102, Marginal, PA, requesting a dimensional variance to allow a facade sign larger than 24 square feet. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Andrew Stoll on behalf of the applicant, STOLL. If I may, I just want to hand up a couple exhibits.
Please. Okay, at this juncture, we'll have your witnesses you brought sworn in.
If you want to just please, and Maureen as well, just please say your name, and they're going to read you a note and swear.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's Maureen McWilliams, MCWILLIAMS, Allied Sign Systems.
My name is Harshad Patel, Harshad. Last name Patel, Patel.
Okay, great. Now we're going to, I'll turn it over to our solicitor to mark the exhibits for the petition.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB1, along with the accompanying hardship letter. 2 will be a permit denial letter from Falls Township dated July 16th, 2021, addressed to Fairless Property LLC, 14,000 Horizon Way, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. 3 will be a set of plans, one of which is titled Site Plan. 4 will be 3 pages, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 is a letter addressed to Robert Gudlach, Esquire, dated September 1st, 2021, giving notice of tonight's meeting. 6 is proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier-Times, showing that this matter was published August 31st, and then again September 7th, 2021. That is all the board exhibits. Mr. Stoll, you have handed up pre-marked exhibits. What I'm going to do is, with your permission, I'll amend that to just A1 and A2.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And do you have notice to the adjoining or abutting property owners?
Yes, we did. It was previously sent to the township, but I can also hand it up as well.
Okay, yeah, if you have it, that'd be great. Thank you. And Ms. Scholl, with your permission, I will mark this as collectively as A3. I'm
Agreed.
sorry, yeah, A3.
A3, yep.
And the properties that are listed on the 3rd page received the notice that is listed on page 2. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied the appropriate notice have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Stoll. I'm the attorney for the applicant. They rent 2 spaces or 2 units at the Morrisville Square Shopping Center, and they're going to operate, it's called a lottery store, smoke shop, and it's like a little mix of a convenience store and a smoke shop. So it's a much larger space. It's zoned NC, neighborhood commercial. They're actually looking to put a wall sign on that exceeds the requirement of 24 square feet. The sign they're proposing is 114 square feet. I have handed up exhibits in terms of the need for the variance, and I can go through with each witness. The property set, the building itself, it's set back very far. It's about 200 feet. So when you read the ordinance, specifically 209-45P, it talks about just the area, and it has a hard stop at 24 square feet. So what the ordinance does not take into account is properties like my client's, where it's set back about 200 square feet. They're operating out of 2 units. There's vegetation in front, so we're trying to make the property visible and call out the space that they're renting. So with that, I can go through and ask Ms. Maureen McWilliams, will be our expert. And if you'd like to do it by way of an offer of proof, I can do that, or ask a question and answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it, just asking questions as they come up, if that's fine.
Sure. So, Ms. McWilliams, if you just come up real quick. And you're employed with, Ms. McWilliams is employed with Allied Sign, and can you please say your name for the record?
Yes, Maureen McWilliams, Allied Sign.
And you're the sign company that was going to help install and did all the dimensions with respect to the sign application that was submitted initially, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and do you have experience in submitting sign permits?
Yes, that's my sole job for over 20 years at Allied Sign.
And going through going through sign ordinances, assessing buildings, things like that, determining what's a suitable sign to draw attention to that sign for a particular business?
Yes.
And can you please explain the sign that the applicant's looking for?
Yes. The sign, I believe the zoning code was very recently changed because it states that there should be no single wall sign shall exceed 24 square feet, which is rather small, especially with this store being a 50-foot storefront. So if we use, there's an 800 square foot facade for the whole building. 24 square feet is 3% of the facade. We were proposing under 15% because that is more standard, 15% of the total square footage of the wall facade. And I do believe that such a small sign would look lost on such a large storefront. And does match the other stores. The neighboring store has a 28 square foot sign with only 12-foot store frontage. So I do believe it would look very tiny on that wall at 24 square feet. And 3% is rather small also.
And if I can just have, I'd like to have, just for the record, Ms. McWilliams just recognized as an expert in the field of sign design and engineering. Given her 20 years of experience and credentials, she just testified to.
Yeah, I agree with that. Scott, any problems with recognizing Ms. McWilliams as a sign expert?
And just in terms of expediting things here, Ms. McWilliams, the property's in a commercial area, so it is off a commercial driveway. So folks will be coming through, and it is a shopping center there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you said the adjacent property actually is, and what is the translation in terms of percentage of the sign that they have?
Definitely over 20%.
Okay, and what we're seeking here is actually just to be in keeping with the other wall signs in the shopping center, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you're aware of the variance requirements set forth in the ordinance with respect to the hardship and things of that nature?
Yes.
And do you believe that the applicant, that there's circumstances of the property that create a hardship with respect to the applicant and what he's trying to do with the sign here?
Yes, with the visibility of the sign in the store would be.
Okay. And the hardship, it has to do with what tonight we talked about, you know, the building being set back about 200-some feet or so, give or take, from the street. The hardship relates to that, the unique characteristics of the property.
Oh, yes, correct.
And the hardship, in your professional opinion, wasn't created by the applicant, correct?
Correct.
And with that, I can have the applicant, if you have specific questions relating to the use itself. Like I said, it is kind of a unique use. It's not just like your small smoke shop, so it's not going out and putting a large sign on a smoke shop that you would find on your corner. This is very much going to be, you know, a project that's in the midst of being fit out for $150,000 worth of investment in fit out work. You know, there's a 20-year lease that the applicant is attached to. So this is really going to be the applicant's home, and they're just trying to treat it as such and get what Ms. McWilliams has determined to be a suitable sign.
Okay, great. Since it's specifically a sign variance, I don't know that if questions arise for Mr. Patel, I guess we could take those in turn, if that's
Sure.
okay?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, so board questions? Scott?
Yeah, I'm just curious, what was the prior the prior tenants? What was their business there, and what kind of signage was there for their business?
It's been vacant for quite some time, so especially if I can kind of interject just to that question, and I'm not sure where I'm looking. I know you're.
That was coming from Sue.
No, I know, but it has been vacant. The shopping center, is my understanding, it's been hit like many spaces with COVID. So the applicant is also affected by COVID coming in, trying to make the improvements. But to answer your question more directly, no, we don't know who the prior tenant was. If I can kind of just jump in real quick as well, we have an adjacent property owner here. Just if he wants to state his approval.
We'll wait for that and put it on the record
Sure.
during public comment.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
That's all I have at this time, Dan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, Al?
No, the only question I have is it's 114 square feet, the sign that you're gonna put in, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, and I think you addressed my question, which was, the sign will be in keeping with the rest of the facade. You know, it's not gonna be like, whoa.
Oh, correct, yes.
Right,
There's
yeah,
still,
that's-
yes, the
Yeah.
proportion of the size of the facade and the sign, yes.
I don't believe that
absolutely.
you would design something that would be ostentatious or above the pale, so.
Thank you.
It looks like that shopping center has overwent a facade overhaul recently too. Looks very nice, so that's probably why that sign's not there, Scott, now, because everything kind of was removed from the facade recently. Looks like it's being updated and upgraded, which is really nice for the community, so, excellent. We're gonna open it up for public comments, questions? If anybody cares to?
We have an adjacent.
Okay, yes, sir. We're gonna need you to do is you'll have to be sworn in and then state and spell your name for the court reporter after you do that, okay?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Yes. My name for the record is Alpheus Anderson, Alpheus Anderson, Anderson.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm adjacent to the property, and since I've been there, I'm approaching a year. And my sign, I use the same company, Allied Company, and they did very well with my sign. It has drawn attention to the business, has done good for the community, increased traffic, and as well as what's going on next door is drawing more attention to the community. So we'll be benefiting from both each other if he gets a great sign. In proportion with the space allotted to him, because he has 2 units, which is 2 of mine, which is 2 units that were converted into 1 unit. So it was all good for business.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comments, questions? No? Okay. Matt, do we receive any correspondence through the township for this petition?
No correspondence.
Okay, great. Any further board comments, questions in light of any further testimony?
No.
Scott, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Mr. Stoll, anything in closing?
Nothing further unless there's questions from members of the board.
Okay, great. We'll move this to, see if we have a motion. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move that the application of Harshad Patel requesting a dimensional variance from section 209-45P5B of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to allow a facade sign larger than 24 square feet, not to exceed 114 square feet at the property located at 332 West Trenton Avenue, Suite 102, Marsville, Pennsylvania, 19067, as depicted on the plans in accordance with testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, great. Scott, pull the board, please.
Myself, yes. Al?
Yes.
And Dan?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Stoll. Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you, everyone.
Williams, Mr.
Appreciate
Michelle.
it.
Have a good night. All right. This is petition number 6, Allstate Auto Sales LLC, 981 Lincoln Highway, Marsville, PA. Zone highway commercial. We're requesting a use variance to allow for the salvage storage of excess vehicles not for sale and for the sale of vehicles for parts as an expansion of the existing non-conforming use of a used car dealership. Okay, we're gonna see if our. If you could just give us a moment, thank you. Ms. Batarenko? How you doing? If you could come up to the, yeah, if you give us a second, we're gonna sort this out with you. But we'll do is, we're just gonna open this like a regular meeting. I'll have you sworn in.
Can we do reschedule or?
Pardon, ma'am?
If I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I received correspondence from the Township Solicitor, Greg Leniak. It's our understanding that this applicant was going to request a continuance tonight. It was also my understanding that he had corresponded with Ms. Bidley-Meyer on this matter regarding the continuance. As such, our solicitor is not present to hear any case at this point in time.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. So Ms. Batarenko, what I'll have you do is I'll have you sworn in, and if you would like to, you can request a continuance live instead of through a letter.
Okay.
That'd be great. So if you could be sworn in, you'd state and spell your name for our court, would be great.
Yes, Natalia. Yes. Yes. Natalia, Natalia, Bondarenko, Bandarenka.
Okay, Ms. Batarenko, is it your request to have this continued to the next meeting?
Yes, because your representative or your attorney recommended me take attorney because they need, it's like corporation, we need.
Yeah, if we could have our solicitor enter that in for you, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe a little, I know you're trying to get figure this out too, so.
Yeah, ma'am, I know it's a little confusing too.
Yes.
So it's not this board's representative. What happened, it sounds like, is that the attorney who represents the township, which is separate than this board, they wanted to take a position on this application. Apparently, from what I understand, is that there was some kind of communication between you and that attorney.
Yes.
You guys talked, and then you advised him that you're going to ask for a continuance? Okay.
Yes, yes.
And I believe that the basis of the continuance is so you can seek legal representation?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this board, they'll act on that application, your request to continue. If they grant that application, you'll come back next month and you'll be prepared to proceed forward. Yeah.
I think we should send a continuance.
Yeah.
Vote on the continuance and then move on from there.
Okay. And just a couple more housekeeping matters. So by the rules, this board has to hear your application within a certain amount of time. We need, we would ask you to grant us an extension, since you're asking for a continuance, to hear your application here tonight. You understand?
Extended for only today or?
We would ask for an
you decide only today, I not understand.
Yeah, so we're asking you for an extension to hear your application, because we only have a certain amount of days to hear your application once you file it. So we're asking you to give us an extension to hear your matter, since you are in fact asking for a continuance.
Yes, I want extension.
Yeah, but would
You're
you,
gonna let us extend it?
would you
Yes.
agree?
Is that okay with
Yes,
you? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I think it's appropriate for a motion at this point.
Absolutely. Do we have a motion to continue petition number 6 for Allstate Auto to the October 12th meeting?
I'll make that motion to extend it.
Okay, do you have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of the extension, say aye.
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 Okay, so this matter is continued till continued to the October 12th meeting, okay?
Okay.
So I'm sure you'll be in touch with the township
Yes,
solicitor.
yes, thank you very
And
much.
everything. Thank you, Ms. Batarenko.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Keith, I apologize if you didn't get that email.
I did not, sorry.
I apologize for that.
That's okay. So, and just so everybody's clear, this matter is continued on the record. There's no need for further publication.
Yep. Okay.
And that's it.
And that concludes our agenda for this evening. What's that? Yeah. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in
Oh, hang
favor?
on one second.
Yes.
Just comment on the open general section.
Oh, for that petition?
Yeah, we were, not for the application, but just public comment generally.
Oh, sure, before we adjourn?
You want to know on the record?
You know what, yeah, we can adjourn then.
We can adjourn and then,
I'll
okay,
thank you.
okay. We have a second to adjourn? Scott, you second it?
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, sir?